Good evening and welcome, folks. I am so glad that you stopped by tonight. Again, please grab a pen and a piece of paper so that you can jot down any questions that come to mind as I go through this presentation tonight. My disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not here to make any medical claims about any of the products that you're going to see today. Any testimonials that you may see or hear are from people that may or may not be healthcare professionals, but they are their own stories based on their results. Each person always needs to do their own research based on the info that we give, and always check with your healthcare provider or preferably a nutritionist before you start any new regime. How many of you grew up like I did, drinking out of a hose, growing your own garden, working in the garden, making your mom making you pick weeds? Oh, that was my worst thing. How about canning your own food, fishing, hunting, milking cows, milking goats? How many of you have, if you didn't do any of that, how many of you remember going to a grocery store where you actually went to a meat counter and picked out the meat that you wanted to buy? Anybody remember that? I'll tell you what was so much nicer about that. Your meat was wrapped in butcher paper. It was not in styrofoam and plastic wrap, sitting in hot and cold and hot and cold and having leaching going on and everything else. This was a much simpler way of growing up, and it wasn't that long ago. A little bit about me. My name is Ruth Main. I am the mom of two girls. My husband has two kids of his own. All our kids are grown and gone. The only thing we have at home now are our chickens, our bees, and our dogs. I grew up on a farm, kind of still live on a farm. Don't have as many animals now, but I do grow all my own food, or as much of it as I possibly can. We do actively hunt and fish, and yes, we do have bees. I graduated high school early. I was not quite 16 years old. I was considered a smart kid. I worked in law enforcement for 8 years, and I decided that was not the place I wanted to be because I was always dealing with people at their worst. And any of you know that that just tends to wear on a person. I've been back to college. I finished my master's degree, and then I went to deep sea diving school. I'd been a scuba diver since I was 9 years old. I love the water. We had a pool. I was always swimming. We lived near the ocean, so I was always taking my horse down to the ocean and swimming as well. And then I went deep sea diving all around the world, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I was a search and rescue diver in my local community for many decades. And then in 1993, I had some turn of events in my life. Life is always throwing us curveballs. Many of you have experienced those curveballs. And in the blink of an eye, my whole life changed. My life as I knew it would never be the same. And I couldn't comprehend that at that moment in time. August 28th, 1993, I was out as a search and rescue diver on the hydroplane races in Seattle on Lake Washington. They had to stop the race when my pager went off because it said 911, and we didn't have cell phones back then. They took me to shore. I called Central Communications 911, but I didn't dial 911. We had an inside number. And they said, "Ruth, are you still over in Seattle?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, Melissa, my oldest daughter, was being airlifted over there." I said, "What on earth?" And they said she fell off her swing. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's got a real bad broken leg or broken arm or something that they couldn't fix at the local hospital. No, she actually hit her head. She was in a coma. She was not spontaneously breathing, so they did have to intubate. They got me up to the hospital as quick as they could. This is Harborview Trauma Center in Seattle, where I saw my daughter just for a few minutes before she went in for her first of 8 brain surgeries. She was in a coma for 2 months. She woke up one day, and I had a 13-year-old with all the 13-year-old stuff going on that acted like an infant. That was pretty hard to deal with. Called my boss the day it happened. I said, "I'm going to need a few days off." And he said, "What's going on? Are you sick? Do you have a doctor's note?" And I said, "No, my daughter fell off of a swing and she's in brain surgery right now." And he said, "Well, how much time do you need off?" And I said, "Gee, George, I don't know. My daughter's having brain surgery." And I hung up and I never spoke to him again. They fired me behind my back. 2 years later, 2 years and 2 days later, my youngest daughter, Jessica, was just 5 years old. She was diagnosed with cancer. That came out of the blue as well. So I ended up $3.2 million in medical debt. I lost my home. I lost everything, folks. I didn't come from money. Everything that I had, I worked very hard for. I sold as much as I could to get by, but it wasn't enough. So I found myself homeless. I found myself living in Ronald McDonald House in Seattle with two kids, one on the third floor, one on the second floor at Children's Hospital in Seattle. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I got a call out of the blue. I had dabbled in working from home, but I knew I had to do something. And I got into direct sales. That gave me the power to take back my life and the control of my life. You see, my boss wasn't going to keep me. Some of you may have been in that situation and may be going through that right now. You know, I have a friend just diagnosed with cancer. She can't work. My daughter's a very, very dear friend of my youngest daughter, Jessica, the one who had cancer, is battling cancer. And it seems to be prevalent in society these days that nobody takes care of those that cannot take care of themselves. Now, I'm distinguishing those people from people that don't want to take care of themselves. But there is a faction of society that gets into predicaments like I did, that gets into, you know, having a health challenge that insurance just doesn't cover everything. And that's where I was. Direct sales allowed me to change that. I crawled out of $3.2 million in medical debt. I have met people from all over the world that I consider family, as well as friends. I even met my husband, and we've been together almost 17 years now. And yes, both of my kids did survive. You know, there's no pictures of my oldest daughter in here. She prefers not to have her picture taken, but you can see my youngest daughter here. And life has just been really good. That doesn't mean life doesn't have its ups and downs. Folks, you're going to be tested every day of your life. Life is always going to throw us curveballs. That's what keeps us growing and going. That's what defines us as people. That's what defines our character. It's what you do about the circumstances that you find yourself in that separates you from others. This blew my mind. When I saw this, we live in one of the most prosperous nations in the world. Now, this study was not a short study, folks. This was a 20-year study from 1990 to 2010. It included 500 researchers, 300 institutions, 50 countries, 291 diseases, and 67 risk factors. You know what was scary about this? Most deaths are related to malnutrition or lack of nutrition. How scary is that? That bad nutrition, dietary risk, is above 67 other factors, including smoking, heart problems, blood pressure, diabetes, and all the other things out there that kill people. And dietary risk is at the number one. Why is that, do you think? It's also number one for disability, percentage-wise, that disables people. It's not diabetes. It's not heart problems. It is nutrition. Yet we all can go out and buy as much food as we want, or in my case, grow as much food as I want, right? What does that tell you about the food that you are purchasing, Carol, for your family or for you? It tells you that the food that we are purchasing has absolutely no nutritional value. That's what this study proves. Doctors diagnose and treat symptoms with drugs. We all know that. When you go to the doctor and they say you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic, you need to get on metformin, or you need to get on this, or you have high blood pressure, we need to put you on this. It's always a drug. Let me ask you, has a drug ever fixed an issue? No. What does it do? It masks it. It controls it or masks it. It doesn't fix the issue. Controlling an issue is very different than fixing an issue. So I don't know how they can use the word cure. They're not curing high blood pressure. They're not curing diabetes. They are fixing the issue with a stopgap, a drug. So what does that mean? In reality, we don't have a health care system. They're not trying to keep us healthy. We have a sick care system. We are treated with a drug when we are sick. That is much different than keeping you healthy. Much different. Now, why? You have to ask yourself, why would that be? Why would the people involved with this not want to fix you? It comes down to money, folks. Do your own research. It comes down to money. How many of you know somebody that's gotten on, say, a diabetic medicine or a blood pressure medicine, that pretty soon they're on 10 medicines because they have to counteract the side effects of the first medicine and the second medicine and the third medicine. I talk to people every day that say, my aunt or my parents or my sister or somebody is on 10 or 12 different drugs a day. We can't even keep them straight. Now pharmacies will put your drugs in these little containers for you to take all day long so you don't get them mixed up. How messed up is that? Now, that study that I was telling you about, the American Journal of Medicine printed it. A deficiency of nutrition education in medical training. This report was made in 2013 from the 20-year study. And they found that dietary factors are the single most significant factor for disability and premature death. Despite the wealth of knowledge linking food and health, nutrition receives very little attention in medical practice. How many of you have a doctor that just won't even talk to you about nutrition? I had an orthopedic surgeon, tell me, I told him I wanted to try some holistic things with my knee, and he said that was all a bunch of phooey. His words, not mine. It was all a bunch of phooey. I've never seen that doctor again, nor will I. Do you read labels when you go shopping? Things like nitrates, high fructose corn syrup, bioengineered food ingredients. You want to know what food that's in, folks? Frosted Flakes. Frosted Flakes. That made me start wondering, what is a bioengineered food ingredient? Because they don't tell you. The standard defines a bioengineered food as those that contain detectable genetic material that's been modified through our DNA techniques. In other words, it can't happen in Mother Nature. So they make it happen. What are they using to make that happen? And is it safe? And is there any proof that it's safe? How many of you have heard of meat glue? They take scrap pieces of meat, they glue them together to make them look like nice steaks. How about some of these other things that you see on here? Hydrolyzed corn protein, disodium glycate. All of these things have been proven to be not good for your body. The one I loved the most was ingredients to support quality. They don't tell you what those ingredients are. Do you know that if we all get on this kick about, on the box it says no sugar added, right? Do you understand that if a company is just packaging a product to sell and it does not add sugar, they can say that? Let's just say that ABC company is packaging Mott's applesauce. Nothing against Mott's. I just pulled that name. Mott's adds sugar. But this ABC company doesn't add sugar. They can actually put on the label, no sugar added. Now, to me, that's deceiving. Very deceiving. How many other things are in your food that you don't know of? That ought to scare the hell out of you. Foods that you eat every day that are filled with some of the things that I just talked about. And Michael asked me to talk tonight about saccharin and sucralose and fructose and all of the other sweetened lows and artificial sugar substitutes out there. They are known to cause cancer. There are studies on them. Not only that, you will find that if you use one of those products and then you stop using it, your joints will stop hurting. Swear to God, happened to me. I was like, oh my God, this stuff is really bad. All of these foods are not healthy for you. One of the biggest things for nitrates are cold cuts, deli cold cuts. Don't buy deli cold cuts. Buy fresh meat and slice it up. Here are some of the things that you can do to help yourself and your families be healthy. Buy real organic food, not prepackaged food. Cook your own food. I'm not saying don't go out to eat ever. I'm saying use the 80-20 rule. Read labels when shopping. Start a garden no matter how small. I don't care if you have an herb garden in a window or just a couple tomato plants. Everyone can grow a garden. And it's fun and it's therapeutic and the food tastes so much better. Use local butchers and farmers markets. If you just can't grow a garden, go to your local farmers markets and your local butchers where they actually butcher the meat Make sure it's organic, grass-fed, no hormones, no antibiotics. Make things from scratch. Salad dressings, mayo, mustard, ice cream, yogurt. There's all kinds of things that you can make from scratch, especially sauces that are loaded with sugars and other things in them that you can make from scratch that are not hard. Bake your own breads, cakes, cookies. Buy whole fat organic dairy. I know some of you are going, oh God, whole fat, that's going to make me fat. No, whole fat in dairy is extremely good for your brain. Those are the medium chain triglycerides that your brain needs to be healthy. You can get it in coconut oil. You can get it in avocados, olive oil, a whole bunch of things that are healthy fats, nuts, seeds. But this low fat craze from the 1970s, when the government started it, my mom, who was an RN and a nutritionist, said, in 30 years, we're going to have a bunch of stupid people because they're starving their brain of those medium chain triglycerides. Can, freeze, dehydrate, freeze dry, and then take quality supplements. Taking quality supplements is probably the thing that you can start tonight. And then you can work on some of these others. Join one of our Facebook groups. I have the Visceral Fat Fighters group where I put up recipes. I put up how to do things. I put up all kinds of things that are going to help you on your journey, no matter how big of a change you make or how small of a change you make. Remember, you don't have to do everything all at once. Small tweaks at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. The most important thing you can do is actually nourish your body by breaking the chains that keep you where you are. Everything that I just showed you is a game plan to get you headed in the right direction. You may be asking, but what can I do right this minute? Okay, Ruth, you got my attention. What can I do right now to start nourishing my body? Because see, even when you buy organic food in the United States, it's still sprayed with things that are toxic to us. So you need to nourish your body. You see, we can't control every contaminant in the air, the ground, and the water. It's never going to happen. But there is one thing you can do right now, tonight, that will give your body a head start, help start protecting your body while you implement some or all of the other strategies that I just showed you. And that happens to be a product line from a company called APLGO. This company is 11 years old. It is not a startup company. Their products have over 30 certifications. Now, hear me well. I do not expect you to take my word for things tonight. I am going to give you the resources to check this out thoroughly. You see, we've got all the certifications. Our products have over 30 certifications of quality. You can't make those up. We also have published white papers that are published in a medical journal. You see, our products repair, restore, and regenerate at the cellular level, Michael. How many of you would like to start repair, restore, and regenerate your body? How many of you would like to know that your immune system is humming along so you don't catch every Tom, Dick, and Harry cold that comes along? You may still get a cold. That's your body's defense to build up what? The antibodies to whatever you were exposed to. Living in a bubble is never going to stop a flu or a cold. Our rapid melt DNA drops can actually nourish your body. Now, not only is this company 11 years old, is completely debt-free, and here's what's really important. They manufacture their own products in their own facilities. They control quality 100%. We're opening a second manufacturing plant right now in Russia, actually. This one's in Europe. And then we are opening a third manufacturing plant right here in the United States. So we control the quality. Now, you might be saying, okay, but where do you get all your plants? Our farms, most of them, are located in Israel. People say, why Israel? Because Israel has a much higher bar that must be met in order to have the certifications that we have. You think, okay, well, what kind of certifications do we have? Sergey, the owner of this company, is only 35 years old, and he was very smart. Number one, he started this company on cash when he was 23. But he decided if he wasn't going to have the best product that could be found in the market, he wouldn't have a company. So that's what he did. Our products are different than anything you've ever seen. You see, we don't have a powder, a liquid, a juice, a gel, a pill, or a capsule. we have lozenges. These lozenges are hermetically sealed in these foil pouches, so no air gets to them. They are 100% clean and pure. You put them in your mouth, you suck on them. I've got 2 under my tongue right now that have just been sitting there melting while we talk. They're about the size of a lifesaver without the hole in them. You can take them anywhere. They're convenient, they're easy, there's no directions. Here's the directions. Put them in your mouth and suck on them. And here's the best part, Tina. They taste like candy, but they have none of the stuff in them that candy is made of. 100% plant-based and negative ions because they bypass most of the digestive system. You see, you put them in your mouth and you just suck on them or put them under your tongue and let them melt. They are 100% absorbed in the mucous membranes in your mouth. They hit the bloodstream and the microcellular level within 11 seconds. Yes, they cross the blood-brain barrier. This is why we see such fantastic results and fast results, 15, 20 minutes. Somebody was pitching me on a company today. I just have to shake my head. Oh, you can see results as soon as 3 or 4 months sometimes. I said, really? 3 or 4 months? And the gentleman said, yes. He said, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? I said, no, not really. With my products, people are seeing results in 10 or 15 minutes. Quiet on the other end of the phone. Total quiet. You see, people do see instant results because this is instant gratification nutrition at its best. What do I mean by nutrition? These are 100% plant-based. They actually nourish your cells. And we have over 30 certifications worldwide to prove that. We are FDA registered, but more importantly, we are certified kosher, halal, beyond organic, vegan, gluten-free, and non-GMO. No GMOs at all. That's hard to find these days. The rest of these certifications, the TUV out of Austria, those are ISO certifications. We have 3 of them. Every country has their own certifications that we have to meet, whatever those are, and we do. In Canada, we have to meet all Health Canada regulations. In the United States, it's the FDA. In Australia, it's the quadruple A something or another. Whatever country we go into, we make sure that our products conform. When we open new countries, usually they take a look at all our certifications and they go, okay, well, here's what you have to have on the packaging. i.e. for Canada, it has to be French and English. That's it. Because these certifications are irrefutable. Inevitably, there are people on my calls that say, these certifications are great, but I have a medical background. Do you have anything from a medical perspective? Most companies are going to tell you, no, I'm sorry, we don't. I had somebody tell me the other day, it is impossible that your products as nutraceuticals are published in a medical journal. I said, you better go do your homework because it's not impossible and I can prove it to you. I can send them to you. The man called me a liar. One thing I don't do is lie. You see, when I first got started, I called a friend of mine. I'm not putting my name to any nutraceutical unless I know it's good. And I use people that are in the know to tell me if it's good or not. So I contacted my friend, Dr. Raymond. And I said, Dr. Raymond, and by the way, this man has 6 degrees, 6 letters after his name, more letters, because some of them like PhD have 3 in it, but he's got 6 degrees. He has offices on 3 continents. He teaches, he speaks, he lectures, and he tried these products and he told me they were the best thing he had ever seen. And then he came back to me several months later and he said, Ruth, I'd like to write what we call medical research papers or white papers on these products. And hopefully someday we'll get them published. What none of us realized was how fast they'd be published. And the reason for that is all of our ingredients already have thousands and tens of thousands of peer-reviewed studies. So right now, 8 of our products have published peer-reviewed white papers in a medical journal. You can't argue with that either. The only thing besides the plants that are in these lozenges are negative ions. That's it. What are negative ions, you might ask? Go to WebMD and look it up. Negative ions have a plethora of health benefits. They protect your body from 4G and 5G and mobile phones and cars and smoking and pollution. They are the feel-good from nature drug. They give your body a feeling of peace, of calm, of tranquility. It's like going out and sitting in the sun or the beach. People that live near water, running water, you notice how their lifestyles are much more relaxed. People are much more calm. It's because of those negative ions. Slower pace. They also help protect you. Go look them up. Don't take my word for it. So what we're seeing is hundreds of thousands of people from around the world going from suffering to success, both in their health and their wealth. You see, this is high-tech health. Now I want to get into what exactly is a DNA drop. You're probably wondering. It doesn't have your DNA. We're not asking for your DNA. It has nothing to do with that. These are a 100% plant-based supplement. They provide instant gratification nutrition to your body instantly. That word has to be highlighted. We have over 80 superfoods, over 1,000 different phytonutrients, bioflavonoids, micronutrients, and antioxidants, Jen. Some of the things that people report, feeling, seeing right away are a better mood, more energy, less stress, less anxiety, hot flashes going away, prostate issues clearing up, no headaches, no aches, no pains, stiffness going away, things that allergies going away, things that you will probably never see or feel. It's kind of like a banana. When you eat a banana, you know you're getting potassium, but I've never once heard anybody say, oh my God, I just took a bite of this banana and I can feel the potassium coursing through my veins. That just doesn't happen, right? Well, there are a lot of things that are going on at the DNA level, at the cellular level, that we don't feel. They prevent oxidation of the cells. They improve your metabolism. They enhance your immune system. They balance your nervous system. They protect your DNA from damage. And they actually have been proven to go in and rebuild broken strands of DNA. Now, how many of you would like that? All of your hands should be up. I started to really get excited when I started to see this. And again, all of our ingredients have peer-reviewed thousands and tens of the thousands of studies on them. So that what these professionals are saying is, yes, this ingredient does as is being stated. We have 3 collections. I'm not going to go through what all of our products do tonight. We have something for everybody. The person that invited you here can do that. But these 8 products are part of our daily collection. All the certifications I just told you about, and yet a box of 30 lozenges is just $25. 50 retail. Completely affordable for everyone. We have everything from immune support, eyesight health, energy, blood sugar issues, men's sexual issues and prostate issues, women's sexual issues, relax anxiety, tension, lack of sleep, joint issues, and pain. That's what those 8 products can cover, and much more. Our second collection is our Premier Collection. These 5 products are a bit more money. Why? Because they have more ingredients in them. That's the only reason. But they're still completely affordable to everybody. $60 wholesale, $75 retail. Everything from breathing issues to detoxing your body, heart, blood pressure, circulation, digestion, and building good gut flora, which everybody needs. Our Premier Plus collection has 4 products in it, soon to be 5. These products are $80 wholesale, $100 retail. Again, the only reason for more money is they have the most amount of ingredients. We have everything here from cognitive for your brain, mental focus, mental clarity, to air, which is for cold and flu season, happy, which does a lot of things for girls with all kinds of your monthly cycle issues, depression, anxiety. Happy has hemp seed in it and a lot of other ingredients. It's a great product. And then beauty, BTY, protects your skin from the inside out, helps with hair growth, helps with fine lines and age spots and sunspots and all kinds of things. Our brand new product coming out in May, some of us get to start trying it in March, is Perfect PFT. This is our weight loss drop. Now, this is going to attack visceral fat. That is the fat that wraps around your organs that can be dangerous if you have too much of it. Perfect, as you can see, has all these vitamins and all of these ingredients in it. Holy cow. I mean, man, and we are really looking forward to this product. They say his picture speaks 1,000 words. You know, it doesn't matter. This is a friend of mine, Karen. She was bald for 20 years because of too many perms. 6 months on just one product, and this is what her hair looked like. Anxiety, relax. Gut issues, blood pressure, blood sugar, allergies, breathing problems, joint issues. And there's our little Tuesday down in Florida with her little puppies during a thunderstorm. You see, these are safe for men, women, children, pregnant women, lactating women, and even for our fur babies. I love this picture because people say, is her dog stoned? And I'm like, no, well, kind of, but no, not stoned in the words you use. She just gave this puppy a relax so he could care less about the thunder and lightning. How many of you have pets that have anxiety? Pets that have diabetes, pets that have allergies, pets that have joint issues, pets that have a temperamental gut. You see, our products are so clean, you can give them to all of your pets and everyone in your family. For me, that was a win-win. Knowing something is that safe. You've got to ask yourself, do you want to take a handful of pills, capsules, and tablets that you really don't know what's in them? Or would you rather take something that you can carry anywhere with you? It tastes like candy, so you want to take it. Imagine being able to get nourishment into your children and they actually ask for it because it tastes like candy, or into the elderly, and they work immediately. Now, we also have a skincare line. Why? Most of the things that we put on our skin go into our body, and most of them have a bunch of chemicals in it. This skincare line, Olga, Sergey's wife, had produced when she was pregnant with their second child because she couldn't find anything that was chemical free while she was pregnant, right? So we have this luxurious skincare line that is 100% clean and chemical free, and it also has negative ions in it. So it is good, good, good for you. We also have coffee. This is healthy coffee. It is 100% organic. Now, no, it doesn't have mushrooms or anything like that in it, but it is organic and clean. I don't drink coffee, but I have been told that it has no bitter aftertaste. It is especially freeze-dried, not the old type of freeze-dried, but freeze-dried like I freeze-dry my foods. So it retains all its flavor, all its nutrients, everything. The fact that it's organic, anybody that drinks coffee needs to get on an organic coffee. Guys, coffee is the most heavily sprayed plant in the world. In the world. You are poisoning yourself when you drink coffee. I want to close by talking about some money. I hope that's okay. You see, what I love about home-based business is, number one, we get to help each other. We're not helping big pharma. We're not helping all those big companies that some of us despise, right? We're helping each other. And you don't need a degree to start a home-based business, but you actually get all the tax benefits of all those big companies. They don't pay as much income tax because in the United States, our tax code was written for the business owner, not the W-2 employee. So if you want to be able to write off things like your phones and your phone bills, your mileage, your car, your travel, meals, entertainment, startup costs, even part of your home, and much, much more, start a flipping home-based business. It's the best thing you can do. We have a compensation plan that pays more than any other company out there, and I can prove it to anybody. I have consulted with 14 companies in this industry. I know numbers inside and out, and I don't expect you to take my word for it. I will prove it to you. We pay out 63%. Most companies out there pay out 28 to 32% at the top of their comp plan. The average person here will make 50, 55% overall. When you have customers, you're making 70 to 74%. We pay instantly, and we have 12 types of commissions. Some of you are here to make big money. Some of you just want to make $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month. In this company, it's very feasible in the next 5-6 months to be making 67 grand. What if you fail miserably? What if everybody on this call tonight just failed miserably and only made $5,000 a month after 5 months? Folks, how much would that change your life? More importantly, How much is it going to change the lives of the people that you know that are out there that can't afford to buy organic, that are eating crap food? Who wouldn't want to help the people they love? You owe it. We all owe it to everybody to share this information because our products work. If you decide to become a customer, that's great. If you decide you want to be an affiliate and get access to wholesale pricing and build a business, which would be smart on your part, then you're going to buy a startup package. We have anywhere from 100 to 3,000. Do not go right now, get all excited and go purchase a package before you talk to the person that invited you here. These packages directly correlate with what we call pay status. Our compensation plan is very different than everything out there. APL is simple to build, and I'll tell you why. When you use the products, you see a result. When you see a result, you share the products. You see what's one of the things great about these products? This is STOP, STP, is our new packages, they're perforated. So you can tear these off and share 3 drops with somebody or 2 drops with somebody. How cool is that? The older packages, we have to cut them with scissors, but you can still share them with people. When I go to trade shows and stuff and I say, hey, man, I know you're walking around all day to all the other people that have booths, all the vendors, I say, here, take one of these about every 4 hours. They come up to me inevitably and say, what the heck did you give me? That worked so fast, I need to buy some. This will build you a team, and it will build you a team fast. So what I want you to do is get back to the person that invited you here tonight. Get your questions answered, and then just by God, get started. Buy some product and get started. You cannot go wrong. We offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all our products. So you have nothing to lose. With that, I would just love to thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you.